How's it going? Looking forward to the match? So there was a Vogu versus Turtle match, which was probably going to be the most relevant in terms of what we can talk about.
The match starts in 5 minutes.
And Turtle won that practice 3-1. And then Pray for Help does have some experience on this lane against TLDR, another A bracket team. And that was a 4-0 to TLDR. So it's going to be interesting to see how Pray for Help are going to use that experience, right? To make their adjustments for this lane today. Yeah, like you can contest the capture point from the balcony of the triple stack, right? But because of how open the point is, not only is it so easy to drive a Sunderer on the point, yeah, but also the ground pounding, right? So I think what we can expect is Turtle to really take air control, and Pray for Help. I think they'll do their best to contest it, but they're going to struggle, right? Because we've seen them, struggling against TLDR. It's not looking good for Pray for Help, unfortunately, especially in the air.
The match starts in 1 minute. The match starts in 1 minute.
It's okay. We're on the PSB stream, right? Because if we're on PSB, it's fine.
Three 30 seconds remaining.
Galaxies. 4. They have 4.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Match.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Sorry to interrupt you, I've got no sound.
Nice. Thanks for letting us know, Doc.
That's fine now. Sorry, I'll drop back down.
User left your channel.
So they're repair gals, right? And they're taking their time. They're just slowly having this battle in the air. I mean, obviously we expect Turtle to win the air game, right? Because of the Who pilots. And it looks like they are. Although it's closer than I imagined. And I don't know why there's so many galaxies there. Okay, well, that's a lie. I do, because I've advised them, but it's like, if you keep these gals up, they're able to absorb and distract the ESFs, right? But because the TR pilots went too close to the other airball, the distraction didn't quite work. I just saw a turtle player, PSBX0185, rocket launcher as a light assault a galaxy, and then fall to his death. I mean, if it works, right? 450 nanite trade.
Give it your all.
There's another TR Galaxy inbound actually right now. But there's too much VS air. So VS haven't transitioned at all to infantry. Like, they're still focusing on staying in their aircraft, which means they're going to be actually at a disadvantage unless this stealth bus is able to deploy. Because otherwise they won't have any maxes for the last few moments when Resonade wars are happening on the point. And maxes are super powerful at that moment. But they don't have any, because they have no bus set up yet. But they are bringing in two now, one by the spawn room, one by the, what you call the double stack. Although the one by the double stack just fell off the hill. So when it comes to that Turtle Galaxy, I don't know why they killed the Turtle Galaxy, because that was actually providing like cover in that doorway for pray for help. And they're running out onto point with 30 seconds to go. That's a little bit too early, unless they, I mean that depends on how many medics they have, I suppose. But it's a little too early to be running out. You just get air to grounded as we see that max there go down because of it. Too early, it's way too early. They managed it, but if they had waited until like the last second.
Start fighting for real at any time now.
Yeah, I mean, so having everybody run out of the balcony I understand why you do that, because strength in numbers and you can get the res nades out, right? But having 0 people on the balcony and 0 people on that door too, you know, Turtle is gonna just shut them down with one push.
So I'm hoping that you can actually hear me now. I just realized that my OBS had my microphone muted. So hopefully, people can still hear me. Rip.
And if they didn't, just an update, that's 1-0 now to Turtle, after an interesting everybody on the balcony push.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I literally finished the last game and just made sure all my things were muted, in case I was like, like subconsciously still streaming. So I wasn't planned for this task. So do bear with me. There's always going to be technical difficulties if I'm streaming. I mean, take you back to the practice matches where it was like essentially I was streaming Minecraft. So as we see there, essentially.
Lots of money in streaming Minecraft, to be
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, I was streaming pixelated PlanetSide too. So obviously here, VS did manage to get onto intercom array, and they've already started making their way using that galaxy to advance onto Hacker 7. It seems that the TR didn't manage to rotate to try and get any sort of like defensive up, but maybe they went for a back cut. I might have missed that. We do see TR are making their way from the server onto the big stairs and slowly wiping the VS, who did try to get onto the capture point, but it seems not in very big numbers to make a difference here. VS still have that galaxy that can come in, that can drop off more people. It drops nobody, but it can be used as a forward spawn. Yeah, get the resecure. VS beacon going up. VS will try and make an attempt here. We do see a Max coming in without an engineer support. Only 2 infantry with him, trying to spread and defend that beacon. Do VS have a back cap? Oh, sorry, TR do have a back cap. Do they? Are there any TR? No population at Intercom array.
Yeah, they just right now they're just trying to hold off this push on the Harker sub. VS pushing in with 2 maxes on the door 3, and the TR's actually not doing too badly. They are contesting the infantry from holding the top of the staircase, which is the right idea, right? But without that back cap, it doesn't look particularly.
Not a lot of protection on the small stairs here. Max is ASO VS exploiting it. TR trying to rotate to try and prevent this Max push. TR having to divide their attention between the big stairs and little stairs. VS trying to capitalize on the push, but C4 grenades go out.
And there goes down the TR Max. The other TR Max is engaged by Delta, and it doesn't look good. They've just gotten pincered, and they're gonna go down.
TR trying to hang on to the corridor here. VS Max from both angles. Resonate goes out. TR trying again, but they are being pinned down by the VS. Will manage to get on to the corridor itself through dubs and small stairs and big stairs. They do have the catch point. 3 minutes left on the timer. Beacon still alive. Galaxies doing their best, and the side trying to prevent TR from leaving the spawn. We do see a few aircraft being harassed by some sides in the distance. But with that galaxy, that does provide a big obstacle. Maybe we'll see the TR that have managed to make out the spawn room deploy some sort of like offensive beacon or defensive beacon to try and pepper pot their way onto the capture point. There's nothing worse than being stuck in your spawn room with no way out. But they do have the Hacker, the main base. Maybe they can pull some vehicles, maybe they could come up the rear, take out the mag ride and establish a Sunderer, maybe at the big pipe onto the A point itself. But we'll just see how TR progress from here and see if the VS air punish them. But it seems like the VS are more occupied with dealing with the TR Musketeers in the air, which is allowing TR here to pull out of the spawn room and advance towards the capture point. Not seeing any beacons by TR, which will allow them to...
Yeah, big push here.
Big beacon
Big push
there
on
the bridge.
and then a small push of door 1.
TR needs to attack through multiple doorways here.
Yeah, you need an EMP on those, on like the server.
We are seeing TR rotating.
door.
TR rotating to the eastern door, take out the VS beacon. But it's only a moment in time for the side to come to deal with this push. The fact they came a little bit late. Had they come 5 seconds early, they could have done massive damage on
Oh,
that
that
push.
harasser! Oh, you hate to see it.
And
Oh,
that's the
did you
thing.
see the harasser? On
Yeah, and that's the thing. TR did well to not focus on one day and get blasted by the guys in dubs, but they hesitated on that eastern door and they paid for it. They should have just pushed. They should have used that momentum, pushed up small stairs, and grouped up with the guys who are making some headroom into server room here. But the BS who went to small stairs are going to reinforce that. Very unfortunate for TR here. Again, the Scribes are back on station, preventing TR again from pushing out. That air to ground being devastating here on the TR. A lot of TR. Harasser comes in to try and get a few kills here. That's a lot of TR dead here. We do see a beacon on the western door here. Harasser comes in. Oh, he misses. He misses the sitter. Unfortunate, but this guy is tempting fate. Not many VS on the capture point, but they are outside the boss. Only big stairs here. 30 seconds on the capture point.
So just to kind of perhaps put some context into today's match, as to why it's being, well, it's going to be 2-0, with like, I think about 20 minutes to go, well 18. So to put some context in, right, the Pray for Help Force Commander, the original one, actually had a, unfortunately couldn't play today due to technical difficulties, with like their setup, which won't actually be solved for like a lot of the tournament, if not the whole tournament. And so Pray for Help are now having to play with a completely new FC in the first match of the tournament, and that for a team like Pray for Help, which is going to have to rely on coordination and teamwork to be able to challenge teams
I
like
just
Turtle
saw
and
a
Cats.
VS on a flash make his way to the hacker. I don't know if he redeployed or he pressed E and ran over by his own vehicle. I don't know what happened there, but we do have VS vehicle moving in force towards the hacker outstation, which is a home base for TR. Already the Cybes are harassing the TR and reinforcing it. Do TR have some cheese planned for the garage? They do have a few Thunderers, but the VS Thunderers are already here. Shield Diffuse has gone in. He's going to try and make a push on the western edge, but he missed the doorway. Maybe he's just going to deploy Sunday. Obviously, the TR Sundays were there, ready to block his actions. They saw that coming. That Sunday needs to. Oh, they've destroyed the vehicle terminals. They have one remaining, just trying to limit the VS from pushing vehicles. One VS Thunder does try to breach, but he is pretty much on his own. He's not going to make much of a difference there. The generators haven't gone down yet, but VS are still pulling in Sunderers. Are they all GSD? Yes, they are all GSD. Maybe they're going to farm up, maybe they're going to push in force, but the entrances are blocked. They need to decide which door they're going to go through. Only the vehicle bay is not contested here.
Yeah, I wonder why they've left, like why they don't have 4 Sundays up. Like why have they left that hole there? Maybe maybe they're trying to bait it with tank mines, but I don't see it.
They have managed to block that. No, they haven't. They've left the door in. One Sunday comes in. He goes for the 2 Sunday coming in. Sunday tries to block. He managed to T-bone the second Sunday, but again they're coming in piecemeal. Oh no, Sunday comes in. Oh, will they come from both sides? They're sneaking through the gap here on the western side.
Damage to kill the Sundays fast
They're
enough.
sneaking through on the west. The Pray for Help Sunderer has left a small gap. The Harasser tries, but it is unfortunate. A lot of Sundays here. Absolute chaos in the garage here.
Yeah, that was a good idea, like from Turtle with the saturation, just to overwhelm them with just a sheer amount of full spot flyers, right? Because as you say, there were gaps. What's kind of unfortunate is, like, where's the back cap, right? Because they had so long to get that back cap, but they never did Pray for Help. So, you know, every season we see teams struggle with back caps, and so far this season has been no different.
VS getting Sunderer and a Harasser onto the capture point here. The longer TR take to deal with this, the more time they give VS to set up any sort of cheese here. More and more VS are making their way through the stairs here. That stunner is going to be a... Oh, it goes down, and I think VS hacking the vehicle bay here. Now able to pull as many stunners as they like. Maybe not... Maybe destroying that. Well, not destroying it was a oversight by TR. But now they've just given the opportunity for VS to pull as many cheese as they can, which makes it quite difficult. You know, because that stunner is now going to keep the TR bottled up behind that shield.
Yeah, they're just going to spam Sundays, which of course is to delay the TR from pushing out. It's not necessarily to like actually do a lot of damage.
You do see it, and Mosquito has made an appearance inside it. He doesn't last long, however, but I do. Oh, 2 Mozzies are coming in. This is very questionable tactics, but I like to see it. Will the third Mosquito do any better? 4 Mosquito. What is this? What's going on?
It's something different, at least, right?
Yeah. Expect the unexpected. What's going on? Like, but that has provided enough distraction for TR to get a few guys out of the shield wall. But if they had a few heavies, just focus fire, yeah, they do focus fire on that stunner, they take it down. And
they've killed the terminal as well, the one that was hacked.
They are making efforts on both stairwells here on the eastern side. They have managed to progress. Archer engineers trying to take on... They do have a beachhead on the western side. They are slowly taking on the west. Only a few VS remain, but if I was a light assault, you could just light assault, come out here, fly up, hit the point, throw us a few C4s.
Yeah, that one wild card light assault, yeah, like that would have made it a much more efficient. But that, you know, thankfully they've been able to retake the point, and it's going to be really difficult for, I think, Turtle to be able to push back in, because they're I mean, they have 2 minutes, but they're going to need to do what they did originally, which is just spam Sundays.
You know, I've never seen, like, I don't really see it on live here, but like people like spawn the main spawn, they go to the roof, they use the jump pad onto the airfield, and they come down the tunnel down towards the bridge. I never see that even on live. You know, like it's such a unpredictable thing for people to do. But that Mosquito, that's got to be the highlight of the season so far. Like to me, that's like that's like the best like tactic ever. Like because VS was thinking like, what the hell? But then again, TR did put themselves on that position because they didn't block one door. Like I am blocked with my observer cam. They have to go super speed to go inside and clip through a wall like that.
Oh, here comes the Sunday train again. 4 Sundays entering from the west side.
Here comes it's under, but they're blocking each other here.
Oh, that was so big brain. They Pray for Help spawned a Sunday as one of the Turtle Sundays went over the vehicle pad, and so it deleted the VS Sunday, just obliterated it instantly.
Top
Oh, that was so clever.
I mean, maybe that was their game in the first part, but I think leaving that terminal alive once they pulled their cheese is a bad mistake.
Oh, it's such a risk, yeah.
Oh, but it's literally a pile up here.
Oh, it's carnage.
This is literally a battle bus derby. You know, 10 minutes, well, 5 minutes ago it was Aerodome time.
They are losing the
But
point.
VS are back on the point. You know, they do have a harasser somehow. 40 seconds with absolute chaos here. VS have a Sunday, TR have Sundays. Sunday on Sunday violence. Another Sunday comes in, almost wipes out a few TR. Another harasser comes in. It's absolute crazy.
They're just okay. So the VS Sunday goes down. So they and having that one TR Sunday is going to really help. But VS haven't hacked the terminal again because they just don't have the spare people, right? And the reason why they don't have the spare people is because they've got mag riders driving around the amp station providing anti-air in a 1-point amp station, which is interesting. Not necessarily something I would like to see, but I guess it's working, kind of.
If the Eastern gen's down, shouldn't the Eastern doors be down as well?
No, you need to kill both gens.
Ah, right. Kind of like once upon a time. I mean, that's what they need to do. They need to get both because they're just throwing Sundays with GSD into the mix, and yeah, it keeps up the momentum. But you got to think how draining that is on that night, you know. But we do see some TR Parallels make an appearance who are dealing with the Mag Riders in this compound. It's been quite an interesting fight, you know. It's been very unexpected to give that. I mean, TR do have some anti-tank cannons here on the spawn. Maybe they could use them just to try and get an angle. Looking inside again. Let's see what more chaos has been ensuing as I look for the window. I hate zooming in here. VS are still on the capture point. TR managed to get it back.
Oh! Yeah, Monkey DG dropped like 3 people from Turtle. But unfortunately, wasn't able to wipe the last like 2 players. So close to be able to delay that even further. With about 8.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
6 minutes 20. Can the VS hold out? No vehicle terminals. But they've shown that commitment, keep throwing as many Thunderers, but TR have advantage of the home spawn. They are already making their way up the stairs to deal with the 1 or 2 VS that remain.
Start fighting for real at any time now.
30 seconds, 35 seconds, sorry, on the resecure. What do VS have in store for the... God damn it, I hate these gates.
Yeah, you just got to try to find like the optimal angle, because unfortunately with the obs cam, it's not 100% no clip unless you like have full speed. It's but at least we can see everybody's names, right? In the past we weren't able to see everyone's names in obs cam, so that's they you know, they're constantly improving.
So TR have a dominance of air and a Prowler, but they have let one Thunderer slip in. I'm gonna follow him in. Oh, the Prowler T-bones. The Prowler managed to T-bone, but some did manage to make inside, but they unfortunately all died. But
so here's what you want to see, because they can still get a point right now. It's only 2-0. Just get all your pilots over to the Haka Southern Post and get yourself a beacon.
yeah, because they have so many ESFs, and all it takes. Do they have
like
anybody?
the match isn't lost. Like if
Oh,
you
they have
take
infantry
the
on the
Haka
balcony.
South and then you win the next opener, all of a sudden you're drawing. Like
TR
where's
beacon
the
up.
beacon?
TR beacon up. There's a guy on the balcony. He hasn't flipped it yet. He seems to be waiting. Those ESFs need to be getting over here right now, contesting the spawn room, preventing that rotation by the VS. But at the moment, this guy just seems to be having a picnic. He seems to be waiting for reinforcements, but the longer he waits, the more time he gives to VS. The TR seem to be content with trying to find any sort of like hidden Thunderers. We do see a few VS on the southernmost towers. Maybe they have a Thunderer there, but the VS are redeploying to the.
Yeah, they've totally fallen back to Dahaka South. They just don't want to get back at.
Actually, I'm going to recall what I just said. TR have a beacon in the Komare, but the VS have Dahaka Southern. So I completely missed the base. That guy's effort there was a waste. I think he went to the wrong base. I think he was meant to get a beacon up at Dahaka Southern, but he went to Komare. That kind of makes more sense to me.
So that's something you would see, like from a team last season in like C bracket, right? Like, what?
I mean, you got to think like maybe he was just trying to be like, you know, proactive and hoping people would react to it. But we do see a lot of TR coming in. Big map. They have Thunderous Prowlers. Big push coming onto the capture point here. Beacon's going up for A point. They are making it onto Hacker Stubborn. Maybe that was just one guy, one individual trying to be proactive. But defensive beacons go up by the VS on the roof, and VS are pouring it onto dubs.
Yeah, Turtle doing what they what the name implies, a turtling currently in the Haka South, but they're trying to get back cap on the amp station.
TR can't afford to hesitate at these doors. They need to push because those times are going to come back with a vengeance.
Oh, there we go. There's the push, and they're going on to point. But guess what? They're back cap. Oh, are they back cap? Oh, this is the big.
They are capping. VS still holding the upstairs most, but there's not many of them.
And there's timing, yes. So the Maxes can just push up and wipe that VS infantry. Just one big push.
They can't allow VS to regroup upstairs. They need to wipe them and assert like covering all the doorways. If they let VS consolidate in the server room, they're just allowing and giving the VS more time to reorg.
Yes, exactly. There is 4 minutes and 50 seconds or so, so plenty of time for TR to get another point. They do have Prowlers parked on the hill, camping the double doors room. That's a nice little angle, if you're able to see that. That's really kind of helping to stem the tide of VS flowing into the double doors.
I think that TR did try to push out on dubs, and the VS
Why?
managed to consolidate. Maybe they just try to gain as much ground as they
But you
could.
have prowlers shooting there, like just let the prowlers shoot.
The VS
Just,
are
just
making
like I don't want to be too hypercritical, but let the prowlers shoot the infantry, and then you can just hold the angles and click head.
I mean, they do have a good oversight on the pack of dubs there.
They do have a good setup, at least on the fat stairs. Pray for help, or the large stairs, depending on if you're
VS
Euro
pushing
or
in
NA.
on the big stairs here, trying to push on the northern and westernmost doors here, but we do have a sizable presence on big stairs with Manatons and Maxes trying to keep these guys suppressed. But if VS really wanted to, they could ignore the guys upstairs. It might be suicidal, but they just have to get to the point.
Yeah, they need to delay it for about a minute or so, but TR just have a sizable force here.
2
And
minutes
VS have
20.
given up on double doors because of the prowlers, and so they're going to have to go in for door 1, 3, and skinny. But like, that is so difficult to do on a powerhouse.
For VS now, I think they're going to take their time, try and get as few picks as they can, you know, try and get a few kills here and there before they make a push on to capture point. 2 minutes left for TR to hold out.
Don't give up.
VS do have 2 beacons, so they can come in pretty much as they want. They do have that hard spawn home base advantage here. The dubs are pretty independent now. TR focus seems to be on the big stairs here, where the
Oh,
main
what a
FTL
great
VS.
C4! VS are on that server, and they just C4 that max. It's not looking too good, but they are. It's so close right now. You need an EMP from Turtle onto the big stairs, right? And then you can just push the point without getting crossfired as much. But they have taken the top of big stairs because all the TR decided to get on the point just to try and control the multiple breaches on the point. Looks
VS.
like TR's winning.
VS have managed to contest with applause, but unfortunately they do lose out there. But they managed to get TR to rotate and collapse onto the point. We do see in the foreground here a lot of mag runners have arrived to try and deal with those 2 prowlers, which should give VS some breathing space to gather on dubs here. And maybe they can exploit that rotation by TR, who collapsed on the point 50 seconds with those mag riders.
I'd actually like
Yeah, what do you think about those bag riders still being active with 45 seconds left of the cap time? Surely it's just like, hey, we actually need everyone on point here because we've underestimated Pray for Help's infantry and we're struggling. Like, just get everyone on point, delay the cap time. Here comes the push now on the big stairs, and a throw C4 down onto the point. Oh, it's a pizza party! But they killed like one
Ooh, I
person.
felt that C4 there.
Oh, Resonates for TR, where are they? Where are they? They need them now, or they're good.
One guy is knifing.
Oh, there it
He's
is!
knifing. He's knifing everyone at point.
Still on the cap timer.
One guy
They're doing
there.
it. They're doing
Oh,
it. Oh, I think they've done it. Why are you still in your mag rider? Get out of your mag rider. You're losing the point. Vehicles don't cap points. 3, 2, 1. 2-1. Pray for Help managed to claw a base back.
in the facility.
that is great to see. That is great to see. A team on the back foot pushing again, pushing back and regaining some lost ground there. I don't understand. I get what they did, VS. They pulled the mag rider to get rid of the prowlers, which was causing them a lot of problems. They didn't even use that opportunity that they made by clearing out the dubs suppression by, you know, and the mag rider like, fuck it, you know, I've got all these nanites. I'm going to stay in my Maggie, but they could have maneuvered to some of the doors and probably got a
That
few
was
picks, but
such... Okay, so like just to kind of explain for those who don't know really kind of what happened there. You had, for the longest time, you had prowlers on the hill suppressing the double doors, which meant all the VS infantry then went to the other doorways, because the mag riders were still down.
So
and
I feel that TR, sorry to interrupt, I think TR will play in the long game there because the guy with the beacon in our cover rate has finally paid off. They now have the point.
No way. That's
TR
brilliant.
TR playing the long game there. I mean,
There's not enough
it
time,
confused
but
me.
that's
It confused me. It confused me. But they're playing the long game.
Okay, so we should hear an all call here because I believe the time is up. I think. Like on the
Yeah,
script
like
it says.
yeah, like I've got my clock stopped on my end. So, was that cap in the time?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was
Oh,
2-1.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is great to see that action. And if had they done that maybe 10 minutes earlier, sorry, they could have probably made an impact on in that Comrie.
Yes, yeah. Don't forget, right? Like a lot of people when they okay, it's just us who can't hear the all calls, I think, because
Yeah, because
the teams did.
the last game I could hear it, so I think they've changed it now. So
Yeah. So a lot of people like they don't like some people at least some people don't like LaneSmash because they think once you lose the opener, it's really difficult to get back momentum. But we just saw there, right? They were able to competently defend the amp station, and then be with a good transition into the Hucker South. Eventually, they were able to get the point back. So that was like it's rare sometimes to see this shift in momentum, but when it does happen, it is very entertaining. And now we actually have a chance to for Pray for Help. If they win their next opener, that's going to be 2-2 against one of the favourites in the tournament.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was a very interesting game, and it was great to see that both teams were just throwing everything they had at the Hacker, both in defense and offense. You know, I wasn't expecting mosquitoes to come in there. I mean, maybe one or two trying to be funny, but so many mosquitoes. There were just so many like vehicles trying to T-bone
But
each
it
other.
worked.
Yeah,
Like the
it was
craziest
crazy.
thing was it worked.
It was
Like,
crazy, and like, and that's what you like to see. Just both teams going at it, and it was great to see that TR managed to go. They won the back foot, but they managed to like spring off that back foot forward and try and take some lost land and bring it to 2-1. So if Pray for Help managed to get the neutral base in the second half, that brings them 2-2 potentially.
And we've already seen them take the Hucker South, so we know they've got it in the locker, right?
It's like I'm confused. Like maybe that guy in that commentary was just playing a long game, and you know, like maybe he was just waiting. Maybe he was waiting the entire game, like just waiting for his opportunity to shine. And unfortunately, the game ran out of time. And if that was true, I commend that guy's commitment to staying on that base with that beacon. If it was him,
So-
I didn't take his name.
I'm I'm interested to see how this affects Turtle's confidence because one thing that has been quite clear during the preseason is how confident Turtle are, perhaps overconfident, right? So you know, now that they lost that base, and if they lose the opener, is that just gonna will that just lead to a cascade and Pray for Help are able to capitalize and take the W? Like that is, I think, I mean, it's like the comeback, right? Like you
I'm
want
just
to see
going
it.
to nip up a channel to ask the refs when it's going to start because obviously we're not hearing the shouts. So I'll back.
Yeah.
Channel switched.
Hey, Dots.
Hey.
In like 8 minutes, I thought you were in 10 minutes. You have a timer on your. Okay. Yeah, that's my bad because I didn't make the all call because I combination with the coming call to the home base. Yep. But I give a 5-minute call out to the 5 minutes. But yeah.
There's a thing of concern once Halo leaves.
Yep. Again.
Bye, Dots.
Channel switched.
Yeah, I just asked the refs there to let me know when they go into that final 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Are we? We're still live. Well.
Oh yeah, we're still live.
Yeah,
always live.
it's like.
I mean,
okay,
so
we should say take a little break.
yeah, so as you're going to see here, I've just farted on stream. I think probably you didn't hear that. So basically, as the lanes reverse now, they're going to flip. So we're going to have VS this time around starting in the north and TR starting in the south. So pray for help as TR in the south, and basically where Turtle as VS in the north. As we saw then, like that air ball was quite interesting at the beginning of the last round. We saw VS utilizing the galaxies. He definitely managed to assert dominance on the TR Mosquitoes, and he definitely used those. VS definitely used those galaxies as a spawn option and a blocker essentially for in the common ray. But now both teams have kind of like gauged each other. I think this time around in that common ray is going to be a bit more hard fought for by both teams because I think Prey is going to be on the offensive this game because if they get a neutral base, they're going to equalize. So I think Prey will go. Pray for Help will go all out on in that commentary this time around. They kind of.
Oh, you hope so. You
Well,
have to hope.
yeah, you have to hope, but they were very relaxed in the first round. They allowed VS to like overextend essentially into the North Dhaka Southern Post with that, and we did see that the VS Galaxy did realize what was going on, and they did come back just to hover over into Comrade and provide that spawn solution. But I think TR this time, you'd like to hope so. You'd like to see it. They go all out onto Intercom, but again, it is a neutral base, and we've seen multiple times. No matter who gets there first or what their best intentions are, it can be stolen from them in the last few seconds.
Yeah, I think it was actually the match I mentioned earlier on this very same lane where Turtle played Vogu last year, like around like November December time, and they actually were able to steal Indar Comare, and that's how they got their point, if I remember correctly. So like it's not unfeasible like for Pray for Help to draw this at the very least.
I mean, both teams are starting to get back onto the content by it seems. So, not really sure how many have to start, which is really unnerving. I should have probably set a timer in hindsight.
Yeah, I've got eyes on the
5
timer.
minutes to the second round starts.
There
5
we go.
minutes.
Oh yeah, 5 minutes. I just heard that.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah.
So 5 minutes. That's a long time. Got more time to talk absolute shit. So basically, I was muted. I think during the intro. So I'll just use this time to go over what I said previously at the start, talking about the previous scores. 2 seconds. I got a message.
The same time you got a message, I got a message as well. There's a conspiracy to disrupt the stream.
Errol's being the amazing ref that he is.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, I really like having all these refs because it really does help, like with the organization, and they've Erots especially has been doing it for a long time now.
Yeah.
And obviously shout out to the other two refs, right, which are Thundy and I think Navimus is also helping, but I think Chippy is also there as well.
So going on to the schedule from this week, again, I'll go over the current scores for those guys who missed yesterday's game and the game earlier. Yesterday we had OKTZ go 5-0 against Date. We had Too Late go 4-1 against Dark. And today we had Cats going 4-0 against WFAT. And the current game you're watching now is the Pray for Help versus Turtle, which is 2-1. So quite an interesting game so far. And we'll see what the score will be at the conclusion of the second round once it gets underway.
Yeah, like, so everyone expects Turtle to be the favourite here because, as I said earlier in the first half, right, they are one of the favourites, them and Cats to win the whole tournament. So to be able to take a point off, one of the favourites, that's big. But to be able to draw or potentially even beat one of the favourites in a tournament in their first group stage match, that is absolutely huge. Especially considering before they played a practice match against a B bracket team, they actually, in the whole preseason, Pray for Help as a team weren't actually able to get a single point. So right now, they must have, you hope that they found their confidence again and that they're going to be able to now live up to the expectations which, the paper statistics suggest.
So hopefully we get. I think we should be in the final 3 minutes, 2 minutes now. So give or take. So we're going to quickly look at the force composition of both teams.
1 minute to the second round starts. 1 minute.
I was completely wrong on that estimation, but time flies. So looking at the TR in the south, Pray for Help, they do have a few Mosquitoes already in the air. I'm not seeing any Galaxies Do have some in the air, some on the ground. So look at the ground forces. Do they have any vehicles ready to roll out on to id.com? I am not seeing any vehicles. I could be mistaken. There could be
As
a few
far as I'm
hiding.
aware, I think they're doing a layer opener. Like,
30 seconds.
and yeah, I think they're doing an all layer opener. Because I've seen nothing,
And
like other than
looking-
ESFs.
Looking at the VS in the north, they do have their Galaxy pairs up here. They're 2 repair Galaxies. They do have a sizable Air Force of Sives. I am
10,
looking for some vehicles here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say,
And
Yeah,
we
Turtle
are away.
have 4 mag riders at a Sunday. Going to the southwest, flank that western hill you were talking about in the pre-match
Ah, yes.
before the first half.
So if they can get up onto this hill, they have an advantage because they're mag riders, you know.
Dude, they're zooming along. They're zooming along with that mag burner
Yeah, I mean,
because obviously they've got that special ability.
because the opposing slope, yeah, you can maybe get up there, but you need to like have the right, you know, vehicle modifications to do that. Mag riders, it's easy, but those mag riders aren't going to accomplish much if the TR don't try to get Sunny. I mean, VS could probably get a stunner up here. We do
Oh,
see
have a
Sunny
look at this air battle. There's so many Mozzies.
And this is the thing, the VS Galaxies are extending it. Well, not extending, sorry, because they're on the north now, but the Mosquitoes are overextending, I would say. They've just gone all out. They've gone, we're going to destroy the VS Air Force. They've gone,
They
you
don't
know,
care. They're like, oh, you think you're pilots? Here, we're just going to throw 24 ESFs at you. See how you like it.
They seem to be doing quite a lot of damage though against these Slimes. I think they've taken the VS on the back line, but the VS do have those Galaxies. How goes the war on the capture point? Do we have a flip yet? No, we do not, but we do see a burning Mosquito. Did the pilot eject? They do have a TR pilot engineer on the roof. Will we see a beacon go up? There's a few VS here as well. Maybe it's going to be a game of beacons. VS beacon goes up, TR beacon goes up. Pretty much at the same time here. It's going to be a question who gets that point, but at the end it's going to be who holds it to the end. TR have gone all out on the air offensive, destroying a lot of the sides, but those Galaxies are going to be big bullet sponges for VS, and that's going to allow more and more VS to pull more and more sides, that kind of thing, to try and counteract. We do see that Turtle do have a few slimes in reserve at the amp station, good to go, just so their parts can quickly jump back in and get back into the action, and just for that war of attrition, because eventually those Mosquitoes will die out, and we see here VS are slowly starting to get the initiative on VS. We are seeing some collisions here with those 2 VS Galaxies being split and being repair Galaxies. The TR are still getting pushed back into their own hexes. Having a look at the capture point of VS, are the first on the capture point, it seems. They do have the capture point, 3 minutes 37 on the capture point. TR do have a Sunderer, 2 Sunderers on the southern.
Yeah, but the mag rider and that scythe, like, oh, it's. I mean, the air battle's still going, but the TR are just losing it. And now they have the literal uphill battle of Indar Comoray, which, as if anyone has played this base on live, when you know, I mean, granted there's no orbital strikes at the moment, but it's just not fun pushing up that hill.
Those mag riders are making quick work of any advancing TR Sunderers coming from Alton Bioway. You see a few smoking Sunderers trying to survive, but the mag riders are quickly rotating to try and deal with those Sunderers. Terrain is not an obstacle for these boys.
Yeah, the VS predictably have won the air opener, and I mean just the edge opener in general, because you see those mag riders now. They're going to stop any ground vehicles from getting to the point. But the point's flipping. Monkey is flipping the point. Oh, they're grounded, but is there a beacon? No, unfortunately no beacon, I don't think. I can't see one, which is a shame, but he did delay the point, which is going to help the TR give them a little bit more time to regroup. And, you know, with 2 minutes 35 left on the clock, still plenty of time to steal the base.
We are seeing TR armor in the distance being held at bay by the mag riders on the hill. Obviously they do have the defensive position to hold. They can see them coming a mile away, so they know the vehicle's going to come. Just if you see Thunderers getting harassed by the
it's a
distance.
vehicle convoy. No, it's so I'm not a huge fan of vehicle convoys.
But VS will see this coming, you know, like they have that very
Yeah, that's
in
the
the
whole
valley.
point. Like, they're gonna get kited by the mag riders. They're gonna get kited by the ESFs. They won't be able to repair enough to out sustain the DPS that they're gonna receive.
You've got to like factor in two other things as well. The time it takes to get from A to B, and when you get to A to B from A, the fighting time. So they're gonna have to drive all the way up here under fire,
Yeah, they're
try and
just
establish
rushing,
sunroof,
they're
and
just
then get onto point. They have 1 minute 40 seconds, and you know, yes, they have a convoy, it's strength and numbers, but
yeah,
vehicles don't capture
but
points.
There's one AP Lightning just trying to rush a mag rider now. Pray Lols, he's flanked the mag rider.
Ram him off the edge. You can do it. I believe in you. Ram him.
Charge! Just do it. You can do it. Oh no! Don't go down yourself. You're lightning. Not
Oh, he tried to chase the kill. Obviously, mag rider has that terrain advantage.
Yeah, but those mag riders actually have
But
to
he's
move
bought
around.
time. He managed to put the mag rider out of position to
The
bring in
bosses are going to
Sunrise.
the point. The bosses are almost at the point.
And TR Prowlers are flanking those two mag riders to try and contest, distract them.
Oh, no way.
So that Prowler is dealing with the mag riders, and more TR vehicles are coming up
Are
this
we
hill.
going to see this? Are we going to see an upset here? Really?
But those vehicles, you know, they need to those Thunders need to exploit the spawn and start getting, you know, some cover, especially on the north side. Get deployed, guys. You know.
Yeah, deploy that Sunday. Get the maxes on the point, and just pray.
No one beacon by TR. They still have beacons on
They're
double stack.
contesting the triple stack. The point is flipping. Oh, this is actually quite close. TR have a real chance here. They've got the vehicle control. Okay, sure, they don't have air control, but the vehicle control is what you really need. The mag riders are all the way to the southeast trying to get back in.
VS have beacon on the north. They are flanking the Sunrise. Small force here are focusing on the Sunrise and the Prowlers. We do see a few vehicles.
The point's flipping to TR, is it?
Oh, TR.
It's so close.
Monkey ignored the VS beacon. Oh, it's gone down. It just delayed. 30 seconds. Can TR pull this back up? Can they go 2-2? Can they go 2-2?
There's been a drop. There's been a drop from a galaxy. Oh, or a Valkyrie or something, because new people just fell out of the sky for praying for help. A miracle if they could actually get this base. It's so close.
Come on, TR, you need to start
Where are the res nades?
bouncing that beacon. They still have vehicles. The old vehicles they had.
Come on, just get a new beacon up. Regroup in the triple and just push down. You can do it.
I mean, you can contest the point from the balcony as well, but oh god, there's still two zombies
the
there.
The mag riders are here now. 10
Oh.
seconds to go. It's not.
Oh,
it's
no.
over.
No.
It's over.
5 seconds.
Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. It was close. It was like if I'm the FC of Turtle, I would actually be pretty concerned, right, about how close that actually was, because
That was a
this
great
is a team
attack by
which-
TR.
You know, this is a team which isn't supposed to be that strong for health, right? Like they're not a favourite at all in the bracket, and yet they're doing a really good showing. Like, surely, Dotso, you know, if you were at FC, do you think that would affect your confidence if such an
Yeah,
underdog is making it so close?
Because the thing is, like, they could see the armor column coming, and it's like they could have used the mag riders or vehicles like just to prolong that advance. I mean, that lightning was the MVP, pushing that mag rider off position, and then that train just came in. I don't think the VS were prepared for it, but that's going to like ingrain that self in their memory now, because that's a good push by TR. But we'll probably see the VS respond to that, so they're going to expect more Sunday trains like that in the future. And we do see that mag rider already repositioning to try and prevent any more pushes. They are taking the hills to the north.
Oh no, that stealth bus, that's going to get seen. And I don't know who's driving it because they've just flipped it. I'm sorry to announce they have flipped it and it's dead. But it was going to die anyway, so.
We do have an infiltrator waiting in that comm array. He's going to probably get a beacon down for TR. You'd like to see it. TR VS are committing an advance with their armor all the way to Allerton North.
Yeah, just do the beacon now and flip the point.
Do the
There's
beacon.
only one
Do
guy
the
and
thing.
he's not even on the point. There are
There's a
two
max.
maxes, but there's no one on point. Just flip the point
I
now.
mean,
Do it.
As we saw in the previous game, leaving maxes to defend a point with no infantry is a bad mistake. In the previous
I
game,
can't-
we saw WFAN infiltrators essentially steal the cap one of the 2 matches though, because he didn't have any squishies to
Oh
counter.
no, I think I can't see the infill anymore. I think he may have redeployed.
TR already getting their defensive signings up. VS's sides are already kind of harass this build up here of TR. Mag Riders are trying to reposition onto the mountains, try and get an angle on those Sunderers. Sunderers are slowly dying. VS doing really well to focus them down.
Yeah, the Suddies are like they can't help each other, and they're not repair bosses either, so they are just going to get focused by
I don't
the
see
Mag
it.
Riders on the hill. This is one of the benefits of playing VS on this lane, is how versatile the Mag Rider is. If you look at the rock bridge to the south of Broadcast Hub, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because that is just, yeah, it's such a pain to deal with. I mean, they've got Prowlers from the Biolab, but they're just getting focused down, and there goes one, and there goes the second. So they're going to have to get a back cap if possible, otherwise it's not looking too good for them.
Big push by VS going to one the catch point here from the westernmost vehicle garage on the cusp of the A point itself.
Oh, there's a push coming in now for the VS here on Broadcast Hub. Yeah.
I think that was the case of TR trying to pull vehicles out, getting caught by the Mag Riders and not having sufficient infantry to prevent that push here. So we should see TR start to transition back from the vehicles from the spawn room, as we are seeing here. TR, but
they are bringing in a Sunday again, which is nice. Like, they have a Sunday next to the point, so they can. That screen shape, I know, is going to upset a few people on the Turtle infantry team there, because I mean, if you want to use battle hardened, that's fine.
The Sunday narrowly escapes in a Alliance ambush there. The Mag Raiders, have they rotated to deal with that Sunday? No, they seem content with just holding down the Biolab itself, preventing those prowlers from coming in and destroying any Sunday that they have.
Huge infantry push now. From the TR, counter push coming in.
Right, so coming in.
Oh, they got flanked! Oh, but the LA killed no one. Bobby, I don't know how to pronounce it name, Bobby just didn't kill anyone. Flank, pray for help, responding instantly to that flank. Point is now flipping, and Turtle are wiping. Yeah? It's gone. They're wiped. The point holder's gone. No Turtle right now on board. That's
40 seconds. Oh, do you see the Mag Riders holding on to the arch? Like, these Mag Riders are very versatile, I would say. I played a practice game for WFAT the other week, and they were playing VS, and I found the Mag Riders very horrible to operate, not being a VS player myself, but these guys in the Mag Riders seem to be doing really a hell of a job of, like, traversing the terrain.
Oh, that's great timing from the TR there, because the VS have just brought up 3 Sunderers, but the TR have spotted all of them, and so they're going to be able to buy more time just by delaying them.
They have?
They need to get someone at in.com for the back cap, because in 10 seconds you can back cap them, because there's no VS at in.com.
And VS are like committing to the Sunderers and their Mag Riders and the Science to this base to try and obtain control. And there's a lot of TR just hanging around trying to kill these Mag Riders when they could just ignore those guys completely. It just takes an infiltrator, you know, a Mozzie to get there, but their main base is being harassed, and if they pull any sort of like ESF or Valkyrie, that kind of thing, they are going to get spotted.
3 words for you, Dotsort: stealth, command, flash. Perfect for backcapping. Especially when you don't have air control. Oh, that's quite clever. So you know how we talk about the Mag Riders on the ridge? TR have decided to have some infantry on the Biolab airpad, just start harassing them and force them off that angle, which is going to help.
More VS Sunderers coming in the north, southern vehicle garage. They're trying to make their way into the point, I guess.
That's yeah, that's not how you drive in properly.
The TR are delaying them. We do see a lot of VS making a push on the point.
Do you see that?
VS
the
are on point.
Suddies for VS, like, that is a complete lack of preparation on this lane. That, like, how do you get that wrong?
Yeah, that's literally, they've cock-blocked themselves there. But again, TR have rotated to those Sunderers, but at the same time they've let the capture point go. And VS have more Sunderers in. They managed to come in from alternate angles here, so...
Oh no, they overcommitted. They overcommitted to the Biolab. There's too many TR people in the Biolab, and they've decided to let the point go, and they've got you know, Turtle have a harasser, 2 buses. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Pray for help.
And a lot of TR died taking out those summon sundries, ignorant of the other sundries coming in from the north and the west.
And the worst thing is they couldn't even get into the base because they messed it up. So there wasn't like a huge reason to kill them straight away. So it hurts even more to watch. You hate to see it. But they are grouping up now, so maybe they could scare off the air and have a good counter push.
VS still have beacons, still have Sunderers. TR having to resort to getting on the roof here to try and deal with the Mad Riders, which are still on the ridge line.
Well, there's a TR counter air push now to take away the Scythes, which that's really going to help. But the Mag Riders on the ground are using the Rangers, so it is going to be a mountain really to climb for the TR infantry to wipe out these Thunderers, because they're not going to get any air support anytime soon. TR have taken control of the Biolab spawn generator building, so they're not too far away from the point, to be fair to them, with 2 minutes 10 left on the base timer and 14 minutes left in the second half here.
If TR were to place a beacon just outside their spawn, they could pepper onto the capture point and take that point in force, but at the moment they're just going drips and drabs trying to focus, but they are making a push on the western side here, very undefended side of the VS, but that VS zone needs to rotate, needs to prevent that push by TR.
Yeah, you know, these are really good studies from Turtle, credit when credit is due. Same with the harasser. It's really disrupting the, unless you focus down the force multipliers do exactly what they say on the tin, and you're just not going to be able to get in that point.
One minute 25 on the capture point. Can trade to help get VS off his capture point.
So the Muzzies are starting to wipe the Scythes, but I think it might be a little too late with a minute left.
There's still a few Mag Riders remaining, and they're damaging the Mozzies as they try to get onto the capture point, but the more Mozzies they pull, the less infantry they have to try and take back this base.
I have no idea how a VS infiltrator managed to hack a terminal inside Allerton Biolab without getting spotted, but they did. They disrupted the logistics of Pray for Help. That's a nice little move from whoever did that. Shout out to them.
Enemy heavy nearby. Enemy light assault in the area.
30 seconds to go here now on Ant's broadcast hub. TR, they're in disarray.
Yeah, they have a lightning strike deal with the sun.
Distracting nodes, so that's good.
But
They can push.
Yeah, I need to put a beacon down to reinforce that point and drop on the point.
Just go. You're getting
They're
delayed
gonna
by
get
one
bottled in
engineer.
that
Just
building.
push.
15 seconds. And there's not
Just
many
push.
on the
Go.
point. Not many on the point. Get in there, TR. It's like
Get
you
everyone
should.
through that doorway. Go. Resonate. That's how you want to do it. Then flip it to point.
I mean, where was this like 10 minutes ago? You know, like it's. But VS can still get this. They still have spawn solutions. They still have res grenade options.
Yeah, looks like there's more. Oh no, TR's wiping. I think TR's wiping. Where's
But
I
this
don't
is
see
the
any. Oh, there's the resonate. There we go. Oh,
the
that
thing
was
that-
close.
And I always say it, the longer you wait to resecure the base, the longer you have to wait for it to resecure. So they have to wait now 3 minutes 30 before they can even move forward. So that gives plenty of time for VS to get back on here.
Yeah, and I think they have some good solutions like the VS, so plenty of opportunity. Just get a max crash going. Like, just do a max crash, because the TR don't have any maxes on this point. Maxes will easily get you back this point.
Still a sizable VS force, so in this base, like, you know, Macros are still doing damage. VS are coming in, get some Java 2 C4 for that window could make a difference. If I had a C4.
But again, that was a nice last second resecure from Pray for Help there. But I don't. It's going to be really close if they can actually hold on to this for another
TR needs to
3
start
minutes.
making themselves some breathing space here. Powell's getting spawned here. VS. I can go for one of those, using the beacon. VS back on point maybe.
Yeah, they are. The white TR's wiping. They've run out of rescue grenades. A good solid infantry push from the VS here.
We can still
And
win this.
where are the maxes, please?
1 minute. VS
For both
is top,
sides,
1 more
can I see
minute.
a max?
TR coming again
Just one
into a
max.
teleporter building. Stacking up in the teleport. Maybe they do a last second push here again.
Yeah, they're surrounding the point. They you know, it's not as difficult this push as the last one. They might be able to actually do it. But
not
one of
me.
the medics overextended, going down, totally isolated. They're pushing
VS,
out onto the point.
VS Sunder's burning. Can I get the Sunder down?
That VS Sunday did so much damage there. Finally goes down. 37 seconds left. Resonade comes out for TR. Point continues to be contested. Bismarck takes down MAT. It's got to be resecured. Yes. Azor runs in with the pilot. Gets taken down as well. Resonade's coming up for both sides. VS. Oh yeah, no, he's gone. And that is another resecure from Pray for Help. But again, they need to wait 3 minutes for it to be fully resecured.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like VS still have beacons, they'll no doubt have some stealth Sunder somewhere. They can keep coming back and they keep putting the pressure on. They're already in the lead. VS would be foolish to stop applying pressure to this base.
Oh yeah, you just keep up the pressure because you know at one point they're going to run out of nanites probably, and that's why we probably haven't seen any maxes. But you know, we've seen a lot of mag riders and scythes driving and flying around. So why not just get one of them to get a max? Because honestly, one or two maxes here will just pray for help.
And this is the thing, the mag riders have now committed to trying to suppress the A point. Maybe Tiak could pull some victim out of them and get some Sunders in the south maybe, just to get an extra like bomb solution, but VS are making their way back onto the capture point.
Yeah, it looks like the TR are wiping again.
Yeah, I need
they're
to
doing
use
their best.
beacons for defensive. They need to get a beacon up.
Oh, there's the max from Delta and Clone. Delta goes down, but Clone is still wiping up the TR bodies. And just as I was saying, that those one or two maxes made the difference, but it's not enough because of the C4. The C4 in the back lines. Clone is isolated. What? No way! Not again, surely. Okay. I was gonna say that's enough excitement for one day.
There's only one max on the point though.
Oh!
Come on, TR. Let's make that
They
for
can
VS.
do it! What is this?
TR coming back in force again, trying to get back. And this is the thing, they just keep throwing themselves on the point continuously. VS still pulling in more and more vehicles to try and give them a little advantage. We do see a few mosquitoes above us. Mosquitoes coming to try and provide some air support here, but the more modded they have, the less infantry that they have to push the VS off of that point. 1 minute 24. Mosquitoes coming in to punish.
One minute 10 on this timer, and just for reference, 7 minutes 25 seconds. So plenty of time for Turtle to not only get broadcast up, but also Adatum, Biolab.
Like
we're gonna have another.
So the TR are very like tunnel vision from spawn to A point. It's continuously throwing themselves down this little lane here, not really using the north to try and like
Yeah,
get
but
a free
they're
flank on,
grouping
but
up. This is it. Here comes the push. Surely, here it goes. The C4 in through the window. The push comes in into the square building once again. Oh, that's such a nice push. That was such a nice push. Did you see that?
managed to get like the last few seconds of it. Max is going down.
Oh, it was so nice.
That's a big TR blob here. But TR need to expand from the catch point now, get rid of the beacons, get rid of the vehicles, you know, stop taking the point and holding the point. They need to give themselves some breathing space. Don't allow VS to stack a fast
I can't get over that push. That was so nice. So just quickly, they put C4 in through the window and then they pushed 3 doors simultaneously.
And this is the thing.
That's what you expect from an A bracket team.
But the TR are so focused on getting back to the capture point. They're not dealing with the Sunderer. Like VS have a stealth slunny to the double stack in the northwest, which is allowing VS to continuously come in with maxes. Like they are doing really well to take back the capture point, but they're not exploiting that momentum to try and get our breathing space. They just take the point and stay there, and it's just a vicious cycle.
But every second they buy, it's, you know, each kind of way of playing has has its own merits, but I agree, right? Trying to disrupt the VS momentum is probably going to be more useful, because how many times are you going to be able to pull off such a clutch resecure on this point? How
I mean,
many
there's
times?
only
Can they do it a fourth time?
5 minutes remaining. We're seeing a lot of engineers running towards the vehicle base. So what are they planning? What are they planning? Are they going to pull some vehicle spam and give up the capture point again? Are they going to try to do a vehicle play to resecure it again? You know, like, all TR can do now is defend this base, and 5 minutes is plenty of time for VS to capture this base. 1 minute 10. You know, TR so focused on pulling these Thunderers, but
I mean, it's disrupting. It is disrupting them. It is having an effect. The Thunderers. So, with 60 seconds left now, are they going to be able to push back in? It's too close to call at this moment.
yeah, 1 minute left. VS can have his TR, can also get back on the scene it multiple times. Will TR push in? But even then, like, why aren't VS like pushing a little bit forward just to try and delay any sort of push? It's risky, but it just seems that TR are gambling on stacking up and doing these last second saves. But they are pulling some more and more cheese here to try and alleviate pressure, because VS still have Senders as well, so 2 Senders up. So
Yeah, that double Bulldog bus is for some reason a stealth bus. Okay, interesting.
Sunder on Sunder violence here. TR Sunday trying to deal with the VS Sunday.
Oh,
Big
here
TR push.
it comes!
Big
And there's a max! Here we go!
Sunder.
Straight in through the only door which doesn't have a hardlight barrier, but Moles goes down. The 2 maxes from Turtle, Yami and Delta just cutting them down.
Oh,
The Resnick comes out! It's
Point
flipping!
flipping! Oh my god,
Not
look at
again.
last clutcher. No, no one's got it! No one's got it yet!
Surely
Resnick's
not
a ball
again!
team.
It's flipping back!
No.
Oh,
Yes.
this is chaos.
Oh god, VS. They seem to have it. VS have it
4,
3, 2.
Yeah, they've got it, yeah.
VS.
They've finally got all the vehicle players onto the point. Wow. 4-1.
But it must be said, like, TR were doing really well, getting on there consistently, like pushing and pushing, pushing. And it took VS to throw everything that they had, all the eggs in one basket, onto the catch point to hold it. I don't think VS could even take the Biolab, but still.
There's 3 minutes 25 seconds, so theoretically, if they capture all 4 points, you know, they could. But how strong Pray for Help have been with their teamwork in the infantry department, it's probably not going to happen. So we are probably looking now at a 4-1 end scoreline, which is better, because I think some people were predicting 5-0 for Turtle. But, you know, Pray for Help, lots of positives to take away from this match, despite losing.
You know,
Oh,
both teams did really well there. Like, you know, TR for resecuring, VS for keeping up that momentum, keeping up that pressure, and getting back on point themselves.
I mean, the fact that they were able to resecure, you know, that point so many times against a team which is literally called Turtle, because, well, they turtled the point with short stack last season, right? So to be able to disrupt their point hold, I think it was 3 times, and almost a 4th time at Broadcast Hub. You know, that's pretty impressive for a team which a lot of people said had no chance.
VS are pushing on to C point here. TR falling back to the upper levels and the main scoring side here, but VS have made an impact. They managed to get a beachhead maybe. Team Spitfire making a debut here for TR.
And so with 1 minute 40, the scoreline is confirmed 4-1 to Turtle against Pray for Help. But yeah, Dotso, what do you think about what we've seen so far this match?
So far, like, as bad as it sounds, I think both teams have like deserved that capture on the previous base. Obviously, yes, they get it, but it could have gone either way, I think. But it's great to see that effort by Pray for Help, you know, even though they are on the back foot, to keep going for it. And likewise to VS, you know, they're keeping that momentum going. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't as interesting as the first match with the Mosquitoes and the Arm Station, but
Yeah.
You know, but we have seen this game, like, both teams doing really well with the Sunder play. You know, VS bringing in Sunderers, TR bringing in Sunderers, that kind of thing. Back and forth with the some brilliant actions by the VS Mag Riders, like, you know, positioning as well, especially preventing TR being from the Biolab.
So, I mean, so what I'm thinking, right, is if the TR had a different timing on their pushes for both openers for in.com, right, because they did flip the point both times. So if they adjusted their timing to just be a little bit closer to when the base was going to flip, you know, we could have easily seen a totally different scoreline. Which is surprising because,
So
you know, they
5,
managed to get to the
4,
Hug Am station.
3, 2.
End of match. End of match. Congratulations to TRTL with 4 prayer 1. The team captains, please join the interview channel for the post-game interview.
So yeah, GG to both teams. It was a pleasant game to watch. It was very unexpected, especially the first half. Second half was a pleasure to watch. Some really good clutches there by both teams. Both teams really going out, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see teams just like resigning themselves once they get put on that back foot. And the first round was great to see both teams, you know, advancing and going back and forth. This time around, TR didn't have opportunity to counter attack, but they did try.
Yeah, I know the scoreline doesn't suggest it, but there really was a good back and forth, wasn't there?
Yeah,
User joined your
and
channel.
I feel like TR were just,
User left
you
your
know,
channel.
just essentially victims of circumstance. And I say that a lot about games. You know, they have the best intentions to get in point, but it's like things are badly timed or just things out of their control. Because you can never really plan a good push because someone's always going to like ruin it. I mean, I said that VS could see the armor column in the first half, but yeah, the armor column exceeded my expectations. They managed to get onto the point and do a really good push. The Mag Riders had the better positioning. That lightning in my eyes for TR, the MVP for pushing that Mag Rider off position. The prowl that went round the back to deal with those Mag Riders to prevent them from obtaining that position was well, like, you know, that's the kind of like initiative that you want to see from players. And I'm going to ask one of the main questions I'm going to ask in the interview is: was the guy in that comma array, the beacon, was that planned? Was they playing the long game? You know, was that just a tactical miscalculation,
sure,
or was it
yeah.
just or was that just a part of their master plan? Because they did get onto Indacom late in the last few minutes, and I think had they had more time, I think they could have probably made an impact on Indacom rate. But when you're on the ground, you kind of like lose sense of time, I guess. You know, you don't really know what the timer is all the time, and you might think, oh, in 2 minutes we'll make a push, but for all you know,
Yeah.
you have like 10 seconds left, you know.
So we're just waiting now for, I think, some a representative from Turtle. Because I don't see it. Okay, there we go. There's finally a rep from Turtle. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
User left your channel. Channel switched.
Hello.
User joined your
Okay,
channel.
Swan. Let's go.
Let's get here.
Okay, here we'll allow you to do it. I'll keep my mouth
User
shut.
left your
Grenade.
channel.
All right,
Okay,
guys.
there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
who
like a
moved
lot of
in
people
here.
in here.
Can we have less people if that's preferable, please?
Lost. Bye bye.
User disconnected from
It's
your
only me
channel.
and Broken from the prey side now.
My voice
Pray
is
for help,
giving
team.
up. I was shouting
User
so
left
hard.
your channel.
It was a huge back and forth, and so that leads me nicely to the first question
User
that
was moved out of
I
your
wanted to
channel.
ask the Turtle rep, but the Turtle reps just disappeared. Broken. You were the replacement FC for Pray for Help. Your first time FCing. Are you happy about that surprisingly, despite the scoreline, close game?
Yeah, I'm quite happy. It was quite an enjoyable match. Had a lot of back and forth. It felt like repeated wipes from both sides and both multiple of the domains, which was quite enjoyable. Near the end, the infantry fight really focused on us. We quite starved on nanites from both sides, which resulted in quite an interesting fight you don't really see too often in the LaneSmash experience, which lacked a lot of different vehicle play, which was quite fun and enjoyable near the end. The back and forth, especially on that second cap, was quite enjoyable and great fight and great contest from both sides. So thank you for the excellent match, guys. It was a lot of fun.
So, I'm going to jump straight in. We'll start with the first match, my main question. So we saw in the first match, that on the first round, I should say, that
User left
when
your channel.
Turtle capped a hacker amp, I was like, oh, this is over. Sorry, capped a hacker. Wow, I can't even speak right now. The hacker Southern. I thought, oh, this game's over. Like, how did you feel a bit crushed when the TR eventually took that back? Because like I didn't see that coming. Like what? How? Because I felt like you guys are really tight knit and you're really good and you've got like a good pedigree. So how come that defense never really happened and you ended up just losing that point? Because to me that felt like that should have been something where the TR don't take that in a million years. It's just that they had the. So were you guys on the VS? Were you out of resources because you just not pull any maxes and you just struggled to get stuff going? Like, what was up with that?
I'm sorry to intervene, Shrib. Currently, there's no one here from Turtle. I don't
I
think.
am so professional.
Is Steve
don't
what
worry.
from?
Is
I'm
Steve
from Turtle, but
Okay,
I
are you-
only played the second half.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
Okay,
how about I flip
interesting.
it for the TR then? If there's a so when you guys took back the hacker Southern, like, how much relief was there?
It wasn't really a relief thing. It was just excited to finally have things starting to come together and work properly. For us, it's been a lot of struggle to get 3 domains to work properly and rotate efficiently, and this was our first time where we actually had the domains rotating and assisting each other in a really effective manner. So I was happy to see a response that I wanted to see from all 3 domains, and it was excellent for that crash. We had armor and air effectively moving together to create space for infantry. We had proper rotates from infantry to our armor domain to assist on that forward push, which allowed us to gain a semi-foothold at Dahaka Southern. Then that allowed us to bring out a large amount of maxes and different utility back onto Dahaka Southern Post. And then we just played a decent infantry game, which seemed that the other team was starved on nanites for regards to both maxes and pulse, so they weren't able to really contest at that point in time, which allowed us to get the cap in. So it's a combination of finally coming together effectively with 3 domains, and then also good timing on nanite starvation.
So
Right.
I have a question, and I need answers to this question because I've got a few, and apologies to the VS guys, but they kind of aim towards the I have 2 questions. One, the hacker amp station, the mosquito push onto the inside the garages. Was that a planned thing, or was that just a spontaneous thing?
That was a bit of both. A bit of a previous plan where we've talked about it, and of course theory crafted from behind. But that was just my excellent air lead doing his thing and taking advantage of a situation that he
User
could take
joined your
advantage of,
channel.
and then
Because
effectively pushing in there.
it was great to see. Like I was like, what's going on? And then suddenly there's mosquitoes everywhere inside the garage. And my second question, you watch the VOD back, you know what I'm talking about. But when you guys secured the hacker amp, I went to in-our array forgetting that the hacker Southern exists, and I saw one of your guys with a beacon just
User
patiently
joined your
waiting
channel.
on the roof. Was that a long game you were playing, or did that guy just go to the wrong base? I need answers.
That was a long game. That was a guy waiting
long
there.
game.
We had him
Because we
set
did
up.
see, because we did see like towards the end, like you did have that drop onto in-our array, and I think had you guys had maybe another 5-10 minutes, you could have probably got onto in-our array. So that was great to see that that planning ahead essentially. But you'll see in the VOD that I get confused. I'm like, wait a second, there's a base missing here. But yeah.
No,
So-
we had one of our members ready for that forward cap. We were hoping to stretch the match out. Even though we knew the timer was there, we were trying to play the match out as much as possible.
So I do have a question for Turtle here. This match on paper, and taking into account preseason, it was supposed to be a pretty straightforward match. But despite the scoreline obviously being 4-1, there was a few times there where Pray for Help really disrupted your play. How does that affect your confidence going into the rest of your matches?
You know what? Full confidence, no worries. Like, just small hiccups along the way, no big deal. We'll get those sorted out in practice.
Wow, that's
yeah,
really a really confident response. Wow, okay, interesting.
I mean, you got to be a little confident once in a while, am I right? Come on. And that's about it.
I've got to think of something to ask because there were questions I had for Canadian, who's joined us now, because he features a lot on my stream with the shenanigans he was pulling all
What?
the time. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
In your buses, in your harassers. Oh, I saw that. Don't you worry.
Oh
I saw
no!
that. Oh yeah.
You saw my harasser get stuck.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of like Sunderer play by both teams, and then, like especially in the first half, there were Sunderers hitting Sunderers, harassers hitting something. Like that Am station in the first round was just chaotic. There were just Sunderers everywhere.
So, a question then for you guys. Again, just going for the first round to the amp station. Now that you guys from the VS are here, that first round, do you feel like you just accidentally, like you just way overpulled Sunderers and drained all your resources, or do you feel like there was a different reason as to why you then like lost to Hackers? Because the way I see it, you lost to Hackers Southern because it looked like you overpulled like way too many Sunderers, and then they obviously got killed. And then you don't have the maxes and you don't have the heavy hitting units to deal with the people on the point who'd move up from the TR who'd moved to Dahaka, especially considering they had their own maxes. Or was there like a different reason why you struggled to get back there and get a foothold back on that point in the first half?
I think it was a lot of just disorganization. We weren't drained. We weren't super drained on nanites, but yeah, the buses did take a toll.
Right.
We were trying to get away with not pulling maxes. So that we could save nanites for the second half. Get the tactical advantage. But
yeah, because that's me. Because even though you have that breakdown, if you're completely drained, it can actually really affect your momentum going into the second half if you're relying on a lot of aircraft.
Most of the guys had enough nanites to pull the maxes, but we just didn't really want to. I don't know if we could have managed without it, but definitely the push from Fat was not executed well, and their maxes were pretty dug in.
Right.
They played
Another
it right.
thing I noticed is the VS as well. You guys took a lot of air dominance in the game. It was very good air battles, but the VS would eventually usually just win the air dominance. But did you have to switch your pilots into the ground because you were having, like, again, TLDR, Prey just being really disruptive with their amount of like heavy infantry pushes? Did you find yourself having to switch pilots into a ground role, or was it just other reasons that you were doing that?
No, we just did it because if you have a bunch of people who are dedicated to air and they die, there's no reason to really repull if you know a repull's coming. And I don't want them to repull full air to ground, especially at the next basis biolab, because it feels like a big waste to me. And I'd rather have them. I just told them stay as infantry, and when some other ESFs came up or something happened, we get a couple people pulling here and there. Armor really carried us in terms of making sure that we didn't lose air as often as we should have.
Yeah, your armor, then Mag Riders were really strong. They had great positioning, and obviously with this for both teams as well. With this being like a new lane and a very weird lane, I feel like Mag Riders this match really showcased how the yield hover tank actually has a pretty good advantage on this lane, being able to get straight up onto Indar.com as compared to the Prowlers. So, your Prowlers, your Mag Riders did a fantastic job, but then especially in the second half at Alatum, getting some nice aggressive positions on the arch, shooting down into the base. So yeah, we often leave the armor guys out, but they did play a fantastic role for you guys.
Yeah, they did.
Right. One last question then for me. How bad were for both teams? We'll start with TR. How bad were the resource situations in that last Alatum research hold that eventually fell through? Like, how bad was it? Because the amount of resonades going off for every second was insane for like 2 minutes straight.
Medics were starved near the end, but it was a little rough going in. We're against some good infantry players and good tankers, so our best bet is in that situation is to strive on with res grenades and push through. A lot of the time they have some fantastic infantry aimers, so the best way to beat them is with throwing bodies at them until they go down. So we did what we could there, and we tried to use our teamwork as best as possible to gain a foothold on the point, which resulted in a few good pushes for us. And sadly, we fell through at the end when we were unable to contest their final push of maxes and vehicles with a lack of nanites, which resulted in the loss of the base. But for the majority of it, went quite well.
That's something I made a point of saying is that I was very confident and very adamant if they'd have had 2 maxes earlier, like the key there was having 2 maxes on point, not 1. And when you eventually got 2 maxes on point, it seems like that's when that was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. And that was the final piece of the puzzle which allowed you to actually take the base. That being said, I presume the reason you didn't have 2 maxes is because with the amount of just absolute chaos happening with all the different vehicles, I'm assuming you were the VS over there. You guys were pretty resource starved as well.
Out of the infantry people are pretty pressed for resources. The pilots were doing just fine, sitting over around 600 nanites or so. But the base was pretty much just hard to cap because the pilots were not. We weren't very organized, I'll say. To put it nicely, I guess.
It seemed from the outside in like you played like a team who you were applying like a generalized strategy, and as a result, it meant that you were like things like the initial caps were pretty good, but because of maybe the fact that this is like the first official match of the tournament I think for you guys, or maybe one of the first, I want to say. I'm not sure on the actual scheduling. And as well, we're playing this weird lane where no one quite knows what to think of it yet. You end up in scenarios where you get a little bit of unexpected pushback in areas and it kind of disjoints you a bit. And instead of normally where you're a well-oiled machine and you are organized and you can adapt, it takes that little bit longer to adapt. And it's that element of chaos that gets thrown into the works that really changes the dynamics of these pushes. Would you agree that was kind of the case of the organization? Because it felt good. It felt like you knew what you were doing, but maybe not all the parts had clicked quite yet.
I mean, most of I can speak for both teams, but the level of experience on both the LaneSmash teams that participated today is very low, and so the leadership don't always make calls that are 100% smooth because we just don't have the experience.
Bro, I was hyping you up because a bunch of you guys won last season's LaneSmash.
It's true, but
why you gotta do that
I
to me, man?
I wouldn't say that either team.
Yeah, but we
really
all
lacking.
turtled last
But
season.
our offensive.
So obviously Broken was the FC for Pray for Help today. He was the infantry lead for Short Stack last season, and then obviously Canadian, you were the air lead for Short Stack last season. Are you sure there's not enough experience on the teams?
I mean, I think the way the last season played out didn't really require. Well, the way we won the last match didn't necessarily require us to do exactly what we need to do today or in most lanes, because our aggression and our ability to get to the next base has always been like broken knows last year we couldn't do it when we were playing together. Like our team can't really do it this year, and when you change the leads, you might as well change the entire team. Like Bolters, you're no longer our FC, so
that's
all the experience that goes with playing LaneSmash on our team might as well be funneled into air and a bit into armor, because our infantry and FC are still new.
Same being, we have newer armor and air, and they've improvement through strives has resulted in a lot. Same with infantry being able to work together, right? It's all different leads, all different people, results in a different dynamic. That it's going to require a lot of experience just playing with each other to build that kind of teamwork, and it just takes time. No matter, it's going to take a lot of matches, a lot of practice, a lot of play to gain the experience to working together efficiently. And both sides have seen growth and experience of increase, and we've both gotten better in regards to our teamwork amongst the domains. We just need to continue to strive to become stronger at all domains, and it will result in better matches and result in more enjoyment from both sides. But I think experience still is a big thing, because no matter what, I didn't FC, and I didn't take that aspect, and I really only had to worry about my infantry domain on the previous, just like Canadian only had to worry about his air domain last time, with small rotations over to infantry.
I still do now, so.
Yeah, true. We still have to gain more experience in the other areas, which will take time. But
absolutely,
we're working towards it, and I think I can speak for both of us. We're enjoying the struggle.
I'm glad, because enjoying the struggle is the hard part. If you enjoy it, you're going in the right direction.
I think it's it's a fun time for sure.
You know, the score doesn't say the whole story. You know, if people just kind of just look at the score, they go, "Oh, this game was like real boring. It was a bit of a stomp." Nah, it really wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
It was quite enjoyable.
I
I'm
think-
proud of my boys and the crew for the improvement we've made and the strides and the amount of hours they're applying, and I'm happy to see where they are now. And it's exciting because we actually can somewhat contest and somewhat fight better than we have before, and we'll just continue to improve.
Yeah. Both teams here are only going to get better. I know, as much as Canadian you're saying, I know you don't want to say it, but like I know your guys are really good, and this is again you'll work these issues out in 2 weeks, and you'll be just like a top team. You know, if you're not already,
yeah,
which
we'll
I'm
see,
sure
you
you'll
know.
be at. And then
It
staying with you
happens.
guys in Prey, like that again, gonna be insane to watch you guys grow, and you will grow very quickly through this tournament, and you're gonna put up some epic fights. I know that much.
Thanks for
Yeah.
the help. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah,
No
we're
problem.
just gonna keep
Thank
putting in the
you
work
for
and
the
try and
interview.
get the easy snacks, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. I know
good
what you're like,
time.
Canadian.